Hi everyone. It's time for us to look into one of the significant aspects of storytelling. Today, let us see what is the importance of this point of view in the art of storytelling. When I uttered point of view, it actually indicates the perspective from which you tell a story. There are different types of narratives or points of view. They are first person, second person, and third person. What is first person point of view in writing? To proceed with this, I want you all to know that this time we are looking into one of these three, that is first person point of view. In writing, the first person point of view uses the pronouns I, me, we, and us in order to tell a story from the narrator's perspective. The storyteller in a first person narrative is either the protagonist, that means the main character, relaying the experiences, or a peripheral character. Peripheral character or characters mean that other characters in the story apart from the main, telling the protagonist's story. First person narration, remember the narrator is always involved in the story, whether sometimes as the protagonist of the story or the peripheral or the other characters. Here lies the difference between first person point of view and the third person point of view. When a writer begins a new story, he must decide who will tell my story. I hope you agree with it. An author can tell a story from the first person point of view or use the third person point of view. Now here is a type of writing. First person narratives are written in the first person about a series of events, real or imaginary, which happened to us. Whenever we are narrating the events that have happened, we use the variations of past tenses and also the varieties of adjectives or adverbs to make our story more interesting and attractive as well. To attract the reader's attention, give interesting and catchy titles to your story. Now this is with regard to any kind of narrative, whether you are writing first person, second person, or third person point of view. A title to the story or usage of good adjectives and adverbs gives it a beauty. Similarly, whenever you are writing a story, whether in first person, second person, or third person, there has to be a proper structure in it. So the different parts that are significant to give a story a proper structure are introduction, the body, conclusion. Remember, a story does not have to be in 3 paragraphs. These are just the parts of any story. And as we have learned in our earlier lessons, we need now to incorporate the sequencing words, the transition words, the conjunctive adverbs in giving a proper structure to the different events that we narrate. Here are a few techniques to begin to write the beginning or to end or to write the ending of your story. Here are few examples, rather 2 examples of first person narrative. The first one is taken from, it is an excerpt from To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It was times like this when I thought my father, who hated guns and had never been to any wars, was the bravest man who ever lived. Now from the Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. I cannot but conclude that the bulk of your natives to be the most pernicious race of little odious vermin that nature ever suffered to crawl upon the surface of the earth. So here are 2 different paragraphs. from two different books, just to give you an example of the first person narrative. Similarly, I'd like to drive your interest to few books that you can read that will give you a perfect example of first person point of view. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, To Kill a Mockingbird, David Copperfield and Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Great books indeed. Thank you very much.